Hey, welcome! Today we are going to dive into a seriously powerful method for bringing some much-needed order and efficiency to pretty much any workspace you can imagine. It's called 5S, and trust me, it might just change the way you look at your entire environment.
So, does this sound familiar? You're hunting for a tool you just had a second ago, or maybe you're searching for a file that's just vanished into a sea of icons on your desktop. You just feel bogged down by stuff, right? Well, if you've ever felt that kind of frustration, you're definitely not alone. And the problem you're fighting is, believe it or not, bigger than you think. You see, you're not just fighting a messy desk. You're actually fighting a fundamental law of the universe. It's called entropy. And what it means is that without a real, conscious effort, everything naturally slides from order into disorder. It's why a clean room gets messy all by itself, and why a perfectly organized toolbox just becomes a jumble over time. To win this fight, we need a system.
And letting entropy win, well, it has some very real costs. This kind of chaos isn't just annoying, it's expensive. You waste so much time just searching for things. Problems stay hidden until they become total disasters. Quality takes a nosedive. And honestly, it can create some genuine safety risks. An orderly space, on the other hand, everything is right where you need it, problems become instantly visible, quality stays consistent, and safety becomes a top priority.
So, how in the world do you fight back against a universal law? Well, you do it with a brilliant system. And that system is the 5S framework. It was actually born out of the legendary Toyota production system, and it was designed to solve this exact problem, to get rid of waste and create a workspace that's just clear, functional, and incredibly efficient.
So, like the name says, it's a series of 5 steps that build on each other. First, we sort. Then we set in order. After that comes shine, then standardize, and finally, the one that's toughest of all, sustain. So let's break down what each of these really means.
All right, step 1, sort, or seiri in Japanese. This is all about being ruthless. I mean it. You have to look at every single item in your workspace and ask the tough question, do I absolutely need this to do my work right now? The goal here is to get rid of all the unnecessary tools, old materials, and just general clutter. You want to free up space and cut down on distractions.
Now, a fantastic tool for this phase is what's known as the red tag method. It makes the whole process way more objective. So you find an item you're not sure about, you slap a red tag on it explaining why it's been flagged, and you move it to a central holding area. Later, the whole team can evaluate these items and decide, do we toss it, do we move it somewhere else, or does it actually belong here? It takes the emotion out of decluttering.
Okay, once you've gotten rid of all the junk, it's time for step 2, set in order, or seitan. Now, this isn't just about tidying up. This is about designing a smart, logical home for every single item you decided to keep. The goal is simple. Anyone should be able to find anything they need and put it back with zero wasted time or effort.
And this shows you the difference perfectly. We go from that constant, frustrating question, where did that thing go, to a visual workplace. You've got shadow boards that show you exactly which tool is missing. You've got labeled drawers, floor markings for equipment. Your brain doesn't have to waste a single second trying to figure out where things are supposed to be.
Now let's move on to step 3, shine, or say so. You know, a lot of people think this is just about sweeping the floor, but oh, it goes so much deeper than that. In the 5S system, the act of cleaning is actually transformed into something proactive, something preventative.
And this is the absolute key. When you are cleaning a piece of machinery, you're not just cleaning it, you are inspecting it. You become the first line of defense. You're the one who's going to spot that tiny oil leak or that loose bolt or a weird vibration long before it turns into a massive breakdown. Think about the time and money that saves.
Okay, so the first 3 S's, they can create a huge immediate improvement. You'll see the difference right away. But the real magic, and let's be honest, the real challenge, is in the final 2 steps. This is where we go from a one-time project to a permanent culture of excellence.
Step 4 is standardize. This is where you actually document your best practices. You create simple, clear, often visual rules so that everybody performs the tasks of sorting, setting, and shining in the exact same, most effective way. We're talking checklists, clear job duties, and visual guides that make the new standard the easy standard to follow.
And finally, we get to sustain, or shitsuke. This is all about discipline. It's the commitment to keep the cycle going day in and day out. It's about embedding 5S so deep into the company's DNA that it just becomes part of daily life, almost like breathing.
This is a long-term commitment, for sure.
Because, look, 5S can't just be a spring cleaning thing you do once a year. Remember entropy? It's always there, always working to erode your progress. Sustain is what turns this from a project into a continuous process, a true 5S culture that everyone lives and breathes every single day.
So how do you actually do it? Well, success here really boils down to a few key things. First, management absolutely has to lead by example. This has to come from the top down. Second, you have to involve everyone, from the CEO right down to the newest intern. You need clear responsibilities, regular audits to check on your progress, and constant visual reminders to keep these ideas top of mind.
So when you really commit, when you get all 5 of these steps working together, the results are truly transformative. The benefits you get from 5S go way, way beyond just having a neat and tidy workspace.
A successful 5S program delivers real, tangible results you can see on the bottom line. Productivity skyrockets because you've gotten rid of all that wasted time searching for things. Waste goes way down because problems get caught early. And you know what? Employee morale gets a huge boost because people feel a sense of ownership and pride in where they work.
But you know, there's another benefit. One that's so critical that a lot of organizations have just gone ahead and officially added it to the system. It's often called the unofficial 6th S. And that S stands for safety. It makes perfect sense, right? It's the natural result of doing the other 5. When walkways are clear, spills are cleaned up right away, and tools are put away properly, you drastically reduce the risk of accidents and injuries. A 5S workplace is a safer workplace. Full stop.
And here's something you might not expect. 5S is actually good for the planet. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency found that these practices lead to less energy use, less hazardous waste from spills, and less material waste from product defects. It's a really powerful way to make your whole operation more sustainable.
Now, it's really important to get this. 5S is not just for factories. This method can be applied literally anywhere that chaos can exist. Hospitals use it to organize life-saving supplies. Offices use it to streamline workflows. You can even use it on your own digital life. Think about sorting your computer files and setting up organized email folders. It is a universal tool. Ultimately, the real power of 5S is that it's all about people. This isn't some top-down mandate. It's a framework that engages and empowers every single person on the team to take real ownership of their workspace and to contribute to a culture of constant improving.
So remember that universal law of entropy, it never sleeps. It's always pushing your world towards disorder. 5S is the system that empowers you to push back every single day. So the only real question left is, where are you going to start?